Hi, I'm Gemma. I work for Mountain Warehouse. In this video we're going to show you how to look at the different walking boots that we have in the stores, how to choose the correct one for you, because there are quite a lot of different styles and it can be a little bit confusing onto which does what for what purpose. So hopefully we can give you in the video the right information to be able to choose the correct boot for what you're wanting them for. So within the range we do have quite a lot of different styles and fits. We often get as well asked by customers which are better for, for your walking boots, to have a leather or a suede or a fabric. The problem with that question is that it just depends where you live and it depends on your local area. So again, if you're going to be walking in a lot of wet grass, lots of puddles, wading and what have you, then maybe a leather boot is the better option. Whereas if you live somewhere, that doesn't have those kind of features, or you're going to be doing a lot of trail and road and track work, then a fabric boot is obviously, totally fine. Traditionally, leather boots were always very heavy, they weren't very comfortable, but now we've got a fantastic range of modern, lightweight leather boots, and we find a lot of our customers are going back to leather because of, the unbeatable waterproof properties they have as well. You've got leather, or you've also got nubuck as well. Obviously both need to be looked after by various proofers. So you've got your either wax proofers, or you also have a cream conditioner which improves the subtlety of the boot. So again, they don't take as much breaking in as they used to. With the fabric boots, you've got a few different materials. There's suede, there's cordura, there's also like a canvas fabric as well. One of the benefits that you can go for fabric boots is that they are a lot lighter weight. The whole composition of them makes them a lot easier to wear. They're going to be more breathable, and I suppose as well, if you're travelling, it's less to carry with you, although it's quite a good tip to wear them on the plane, because they are probably the bulkiest thing that you're going to take if you're going to wear a walking holiday. If you go for boots and shoes, then it's just worth considering that, are you going to be walking somewhere very wet? Is it going to be very muddy? Because they can be a little bit harder to clean than a leather boot. So some of our customers opt for leather boots in those conditions instead. Some walkers have both, so that's maybe always an option to consider as well. Or you can go for a fabric pair of walking shoes, for using in the summer or for light walks, and then you can go for a leather pair of boots to have, for when the conditions get really, really nasty. You have as well quite a difference in sole qualities. So there are a couple of brand names you can look out for. There's Isogrip 5000, which is one of our own branded soles. A lot of traction, lot of anti-slip properties, particularly on wet surfaces, and also it's guaranteed for 5,000 miles. We also have Vibram soles on our boots as well, which again is a really high density rubber, so again a lot of anti-slip properties. The difference with the treads as well is that if you're walking on abrasion resistant surfaces, pavements, roads, maybe you're just walking to work every day and back, one of the Vibram or the Isogrip ranges will probably be better because it has such a high density of the rubber. The soles aren't going to wear away quite as often as a normal trainer or boot. The other thing to look at as well with your boots is the grips and treads on the bottom. So these are called cleats or lugs or treads, but what you can look for is a lot of difference in this tread pattern. So for example, anytime you see a lot of difference in the tread pattern, that means that the mud isn't going to fill up, and they're going to have a lot of anti-slip properties. It's just something to bear in mind if you are going to be walking in muddy conditions. The better the cleat or lug on the boot as well, the better it might be on icy conditions as well. So you might not necessarily be buying a boot to walk, up Helvellyn in. But having said that, if you're walking on pavements or roads, things like that, and it's going to be icy weather, then a good tread on the bottom of your boot is going to be invaluable. A couple of other things to look for as well on your waterproof boots is whether it has a toe bumper or not. That's just a strip of plastic or rubber that goes around the front of the boot. This helps to repel any water, so the fabric doesn't have to work as hard to push water away, so it's less likely to absorb the water, and so it's going to stay more waterproof for longer. Also, we do have a couple of leather boots that have toe bumpers on as well, and this is really good scuff protection. So again, if you're walking in craggy or rocky areas and you're walking uphill and sharply, if you do scuff your boot on the top of any jagged rocks or anything, you are going to protect the front of your boot. You also have the option of going for a walking shoe as well as a walking boot. Some people prefer this just because it is less obtrusive on the ankle. It doesn't necessarily support your foot quite as well, so if you are walking up hills and what have you, we do recommend a boot really. But again, it's personal preference. Some people that I've walked with are very happy to walk in walking shoes because they don't like the feeling of a boot, and they feel it inhibits the movement and they have less flexibility. If you want to walk a bit quicker, or if you maybe want to run as well, it's good to wear a shoe rather than a boot. The shoes differ from normal trainers in the way that the footbeds are a lot stiffer, so it promotes the foot to be a lot more solid. Your foot is straight, it's supported when it walks, and again there's a lot of even weight distribution through that footbed as well, because of the construction of it, in difference to trainers. Again, they are waterproof, they're breathable, and they also have very good treads. You've also probably got higher laces than normal, and again, an important thing for fitting with your shoes is that just to make sure that the front doesn't come up too high. So like when you're trying on your walking boots, when you're trying to fit walking shoes, just make sure that it doesn't come too high up the front of your ankle, and also that this little bottom bit down here isn't rubbing on your ankle bone, because again that can cause pressure and it can cause blisters as well if you don't get it just the right fit. But just like anything, try it on, make sure it's the right one, and don't be afraid to take it home, try it on around the house for 2 hours and then bring it back as well. It's that's okay too. Make sure that your feet aren't being pinched or pressured anywhere. Also that they don't feel too heavy, because even though they all are quite lightweight, some are more lightweight than others, and some are also suited to walking further distances than others. The boots and shoes that have the greater flex are not necessarily the best ones for walking long distances. The further you're walking, the stiffer you want the sole to be, so it supports the whole of the foot. And also when you're walking particularly uphill, and if you're walking over cracky or rocky surfaces, and if you are maybe having a bit of a scramble, the stiffer the shoe is as well, the more support it will give your foot, and the less likely it is to slip or also to strain your muscles by just giving way. So hopefully you found all the information useful in this video, and it will be able to get you to find the right boot for you. Just bear in mind that it is personal preference, so the most important thing really is comfort, and then hopefully you'll be able to have lots of good miles on the hill in the boots that you do choose.